Peace Collective, what is going on? Welcome to the channel. My name is Milan. I am an intuitive tarot reader. If y'all are new here, welcome. If you guys are returning, welcome back. It means the world to me each and every single time you guys join. Thank you times 1,000 for being here and for deciding to spend your time and your energy here with me in these readings. This is going to be another general collective reading. However, we are going to do a deep dive today, as you can tell by the title before you clicked on this video. We are going to take a deeper look into the relationship between JT from the City Girls and Nicki Minaj, okay? If you guys are interested in readings that look more into music, entertainment, pop culture, celebrity stuff, then I have an entire playlist already curated on my channel called the Deep Dive series that you guys can go over and check out if you are interested in readings with topics such as those, okay? So definitely make sure to go over there and check the rest of those videos out, okay? I wanted to just get into this reading today to see what's really going on underneath the surface between JT and Nicki Minaj. If you are a follower of either of these ladies, then you know that they, they've been very open with communicating back and forth via social media. They've met up in person a couple of times, okay? I believe they even have a song that's recorded together, a remix of one of JT's songs that hasn't necessarily been released to the public yet, but we are very aware of it, okay? JT was on her Super Freaky Girl remix about 2 years back. So, these two ladies, they seem to have like a pretty decent working relationship, but I'm seeing a lot of chatter on Twitter, Instagram, and things like that, even here on YouTube, where people are starting to assume that JT and Nicki aren't cool anymore, or that Nicki may have an issue with JT starting to, shine a little bit. I don't know. I honestly really don't know. I didn't really have any type of like preconceived notion or an idea of what the relationship is like between these two ladies now, especially being that JT just dropped her project, which was really, really good. But let's just get right into this, okay? If you guys have any pieces of information, you have something you want to share, please feel free to get in the comments. I love to interact with you guys. The only thing I ask is that you just keep it respectful if you can help it, okay? We don't know these people from a dry can of paint. I say that all the time whenever I do these celebrity readings, so it's not personal. Okay, I'm not attacking either of these ladies, okay? This is not a fan page or a stan page or anything like that. I'm literally just reading cards, guys. So please, if you're gonna get in the comments, let's just keep it respectful if you can. If somebody wants, you can timestamp the reading for 3 minutes on the dot. Okay, so we're gonna start with a couple of oracle cards, and then we'll dive into the tarot to clarify. I have one Queen of Wands from a deck here that's going to represent JT. Okay, so this particular card has a bit of a darker blue background on it, and then I'm going to use another Queen of Wands from a separate deck with a lighter blue background. That's going to represent Nicki Minaj. Okay, both of these women are Sagittarian, so same card to represent them both, just from 2 different decks. Okay, but let's get right into this. We're going to start with JT's portion first, and just so you guys understand how I'm reading cards, whenever I pull something out, this is going to be reflective of how she is viewing or how she is feeling about Nicki. Okay, same thing, vice versa. When I pull cards out on Nicki's end, that's how she's viewing JT. Okay, so let's get right into this. We'll start with a couple oracle cards. What is going on, Spirit, with JT at this time and Nicki Minaj? How is JT viewing or feeling about Nicki Minaj at this time? And that's another thing I want to bring up too. Just a couple of months ago, JT was on stage with Bia and Katie Got Bands. Okay, I believe Akbar V was there too in a Boston show for one of Nicki's shows during her world tour. So I don't want to just jump off the deep end and say that they had a falling out or whatever just that fast, but you never know, okay? So let's see. How is JT feeling in regards to Nicki, or how is she viewing Nicki at this time, Spirit? Thank you. Ooh, okay, I have a card that says cassette that just flipped over, so we'll keep that. Okay, it says outdated thinking, conditioning, replaying events over and over in your head. Okay, so she could be viewing Nicki as somebody who is a little stuck in the past, somebody who may have a very traditional thought process or a very traditional I'm hearing the word stoic way of doing things. Okay, and with cassette tapes, nobody uses cassette tapes anymore. Everything is all digital, streaming. People don't even use CDs anymore like that. So she could be viewing her as somebody who's kind of like, oh God, I hate to say this, but like someone's little, in the past, very old school, whether that be literally because Nicki's been around for quite a long time. She's been on top of the female rap game for years and years and years now. So she could be viewing her as somebody like, you've been around for a while. It's time for the new school to come in, Um, she could just be viewing Nicki as somebody who has, again, very like particular ways of thinking that are still kind of stuck in the past, maybe like, early 2000s, 2010s when we're in 2024. So just a bit of an outdated thinking process she may feel in regards to Nicki. Okay, I'm gonna get one more of these. How is JT viewing Nicki at this time? Thank you. JT viewing Nicki at this time? Let's see. Ooh, self-indulgence. Interesting. It says focus on self-worth, time to heal, shadow work, and self-appreciation. Okay, she could also possibly be viewing her as somebody who's a little self-centered here. Okay, it's like with this self-indulgence, think about it, guys. It's someone who maybe, is only worried about them and not worried about everybody else. Okay, shadow work and self-appreciation. I will say though, this girl on this card, I know it's going to be a little hard for you guys to see, but she's literally reading a book on this self-indulgence card. So I do feel like, JT has taken some knowledge and has learned a lot from Nicki throughout the last few years. Okay, she could have taken some advice from Nicki, Nicki telling her to just focus on her and her work. Don't worry about what everybody else tells you to do or what other people may expect of you. Just continue to do you and stay in your lane. So that she could have taken that advice from Nicki and utilized it. And as you can tell, if you listen to JT's project that she put out, it's different. It's very unique. It doesn't sound like anything else that's out right now. So I think she really took some advice from Nicki and has applied it to her own work ethic here. Okay, but at the same time, okay, this card literally says time to heal and shadow work. So she could be viewing Nicki as somebody who may, again, need to get out of an outdated mindset. Okay, she could be viewing her as someone who needs to heal a little bit more and who may be possibly a little self-centered. Okay, and again, this is not how I feel. Okay, I'm picking up on the energy of JT and her feelings regarding Nicki. Okay, yeah, she could, maybe feel as though Nicki has a lot of like negative energy or like some type of hatred in her heart, not necessarily towards JT, right? And not specific to her, but just in general, okay? Just with how the game is going now in the industry, how a lot of things have changed, not necessarily for the artist's benefit, okay? So, yeah, I feel like she could just see her as somebody who just really needs to, open up a little bit more or heal a little bit more from whatever she's been through and experienced, okay? And again, like a little bit of a self-centered type of attitude here is what I'm picking up. But I'm going to hop on over to Nicki real quick regarding the oracle portion, okay, and see how she's feeling or how she's viewing JT, and then we'll hop back over to JT in a second. Spirit, what's going on with Nicki Minaj? How is she feeling or viewing JT at this time? Thank you. How is she feeling towards JT at this time? Whoops, I'll keep that, okay. Let's see. It says ascending. Nice. Okay, so she's acknowledging, at least throughout this in the reading so far, she's acknowledging that JT is ascending to higher levels, doing her thing. Okay, it says transcending obstacles, learning, expansion, new phase, and preparing for union. So that's really nice. So again, when I pull cards, you guys, this is how Nicki is looking at how she's viewing JT at this time. So she's seeing JT overcome a lot of odds, get to another frequency here as far as her work ethic and how she's grinding literally from the ground up with her fan base and starting all over. We know that JT was part of the City Girls, but she literally has rebranded herself and she's starting from the ground up, okay, building her own solid fan base here. Okay, she's also, it says expansion, new phase, preparing for a union. And I feel like Nicki has learned some things from JT the same way JT has learned some things from Nicki, okay? And in different avenues, in different realms, you know what I'm saying? It's just preparing for union. So I'm not really getting much from that. We already know that they've worked together a couple of times, so Nicki could want to work with her more, okay, depending on, you know, where this album or this mixtape takes JT, how her tour goes. She's about to go on a tour and everything. So I feel like Nicki, at least so far, is looking at her as somebody who is overcoming a lot and, you know, rising into the next level here. Let's see. We get one more. How is Nicki feeling regarding JT? Thank you. How is she viewing JT at this time? Thank you. Oops. Ooh, okay. I have a card that says the snake that just flipped over. And I have sunglasses at the bottom of the deck. The sunglasses card, it says watching, looking, stalking, gaslighting, perception, and focusing out. So Nicki could be like, you know, watching what she's doing from behind the scenes. You know, even though Nicki is very like, she talks in code almost. So it's like you have to really be a barb or be like up to speed with things or on the same type of frequency as her to understand what she'd be talking about, especially when she gets on Twitter and gets on her live. She'd be like, it's like she's talking in tongues. That kind of like gets on my nerves, so I don't really pay too much attention to what she be posting and tweeting and stuff like that, because it's like a puzzle sometimes. It's one of those things, it's like if you know what she's talking about, then you know. If you don't, then you got to play catch up. So I just feel like, you know, Nicki, she may not say it publicly, but she's definitely looking and watching behind the scenes to see what the hell JT is doing. Okay, she could also feel like this towards JT in regards to JT, maybe, you know, again, taking notes from her or watching what Nicki does and then applying it to herself. Okay, but anyway, I have a card that says the snake. I flipped over. I don't really like this. It says competition. Enemy, clever, malicious, look over your shoulder, and the other woman. Oof, wow. Okay, so she could be, and I don't want to say that she doesn't necessarily trust JT, but I just feel like Nicki really has her guards up extremely high with anybody when it comes to this music stuff. Like, it doesn't matter who you are, you know, what level you're at. She just doesn't really trust a lot of people. I mean, granted, you know, she's been through a lot in her career regarding men and women in the industry, these labels, radio coming against her. So I could understand why her guard is so high the way it is. Okay, but she's viewing JT's ascension and her leveling up as some type of competition here, which she should, right? This rap game, it is competitive. She's not necessarily thinking that she's going to take her spot. No, it's not that, but it's just like, oh, okay, I got some actual competition now. I've got someone that I can really, you know, possibly have some type of rapport with, but at the same time, competition for like the fan base and, you know, who's going to be the next one up or whatever. I don't think Nicki is used to, you know, other rappers riding her coattails like this, whether that be sales wise, with music and merch or touring, all that stuff. So she could be viewing her as somebody that she keeps a very like strong eye on in the back of her head, if that makes sense, guys. Okay, with this snake energy, that doesn't give me somebody you can trust. But I just don't think Nicki trusts a lot of people in general. Okay, but in this case with JT, she's definitely viewing her as competition here. Okay, and again, not someone to take her spot, but just somebody that is a worthy competitor, you know, to fight for the crown, if that makes sense, you guys, okay? It's like two basketball teams. It's like one basketball team can be great, the other basketball team can be great, and they have a mutual respect for each other, even though they're competing for the same title. Does that make sense, guys? I'm going to use one more oracle deck, though, before I get into the tarot, okay? And of course, you know, I'm going to clarify and dig a little deeper here as to why the snake energy is here. Because it says enemy and clever. She can be looking at her as somebody who makes very particular, specific, meticulous moves, very strategic moves. And if you guys caught my reading about JT and Cardi B feels the same way about JT, okay? Competition, somebody who's very strategic. They make their moves in silence, okay? So that could be why the snake energy is coming out for Nicki in regards to how she feels about JT. You know, it's like JT is not telling anybody her moves. And she could love and admire Nicki all day, but she's not going to let her in that deep. Okay? I hope that makes sense, guys. But let's see. Let's hop back over to JT real quick. How is she viewing or feeling in regards to Nicki at this time? Spirit, thank you. How is she viewing or feeling about Nicki? Oh, wow. Death card? Oh, wow. JT. Wow. Okay. It says endless, harm, and inevitable. Ooh, I don't like that. Okay. JT is not playing around, y'all. Let me just say that. Okay. JT is not playing games. I feel like she is coming for the top spot without being overly aggressive about it, overly assertive. You know, it's very, I'm hearing smooth operator. It's like the person that you would at least expect to come and strike you. That's the game JT is playing. Okay, with this death card, this is like an ending. Obviously not physical death, but just an ending to an era, ending to a situation, ending to a relationship. Okay, and this is how she's viewing Nicki Minaj right now. Okay, she's viewing her either as Nicki as somebody who has ended the relationship with JT. Okay, someone who doesn't necessarily want the relationship, friendship anymore, or she's viewing Nicki as somebody like whose time is up. Like, girl, like you've been here for a long time. You've held the crown for 15 years. It's time to pass the torch. And I literally heard that phrase when I did the reading between her and Cardi B, like pass the torch. Heavy is the head that wears the crown. And I think JT is coming for that top spot in a very, very smooth operator, smooth criminal type of way, you know? And it's not to say that she doesn't still love and admire and respect her, but it's literally just like business, you know? It's time, I'm literally like, it's time for the new school. Okay? But let's continue. Why is this here? How is she looking at or viewing Nicki Minaj at this time? Collaboration. Okay, and I have gift at the bottom of the deck. I feel like she should really be appreciative of another collab with her. Again, they already kind of have one in the tuck, in the vault right now. I don't really remember which one it was. I think it's either like No Bars or Sideways. I don't remember, but Nicki is on one of them. It just hasn't been released yet. But it says collaboration, okay? Back up, unity, and enhancement. So she could be viewing Nicki as somebody who does want to collab with her, okay? Or it's someone that she wants to collab with, like obviously, right? And there's multiple people on this card working together on a single project. So I got the same energy yesterday, like Cardi B wanting to work with JT, wanting to collab with her. And the same thing is coming out again here for Nicki. Okay, so she could be viewing Nicki as somebody who would be obviously great to collab with. Or she's viewing Nicki as someone who has reached out to her to collab. Either again, like a second time after the first one that they already did, after Super Freaky Girl. So they could have a collaboration here, another one, a new one in the works possibly, guys, okay? But I feel like maybe there's something here about JT with the self-indulgence card that she's kind of like pumping the brakes on it. She doesn't want to do that right now. I think she would rather ride out her wave and let this album sit for a little while, do the tour, you know, again, garner her fan base here before she throws Nicki into the mix. Does that make sense, guys? Okay, so she's viewing Nicki as somebody who would like to collab, okay? Or as somebody that can help her enhance her career here, or that's somebody that's really good backup to have, a good mentor to have, a good ally to have in the industry, okay? Even though, yes, like I said before, JT is coming to take spots and it's a very competitive sport here. But the thing about Nicki is she appreciates the competition. She likes it, okay? Because first of all, she knows no one's going to necessarily take her spot. And for two, she likes the back and forth. She likes having genuine people that can, you know, really rap or really put the pen to the paper and who have a genuine passion and love and respect for the music. And I think she recognizes that and sees that in JT. And that's why, you know, she's okay with having someone like her compete as far as, you know, the music and sales and tours and all that. You know what I'm saying? So she knows she's in her own lane, but at the same time, it's like, it's cool to see somebody that I can actually not run circles and run laps around. Does that make sense, guys? I hope that makes sense. I'm going to hop over to Nicki real quick and see what she's feeling in regards to the tarot, the oracle portion. Let's see. How is Nicki feeling regarding JT at this time? Thank you. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Ooh, okay, a card here that says promise. Okay. It says responsible, confirmation, and assurance. There's a little guy like proposing on one knee here. Okay, I just got a download. Maybe she's viewing JT as somebody who made a promise to her at one point, or she may have like already told Nicki like, listen, we can do this, we can do that. And maybe that's why this snake energy is here, because a promise that JT made to Nicki possibly didn't necessarily come to fruition, or didn't happen the way Nicki thought it would. Okay, and it's like, the thing I get with Nicki though, it's like you can tell her you're going to wear a purple shirt, and if you show up wearing a red shirt, she's going to be like, you betrayed me, or you lied to me. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why I'm picking that up. I hate to say it like that, but it's literally like how I'm feeling, how I'm getting it right now. Okay, but it says responsible, confirmation, and assurance. When you reassure somebody, that's like you're letting them know and you're helping them be sure of something, you know? I'm gonna get one more here, but so far with that, it seems like she's viewing her as somebody who made a promise or told Nicki something, and then it didn't happen. It didn't go through the way that Nicki thought it would. Let me see. Why is this here? How is she feeling or viewing JT at this time? Origin. Okay. It's like starting fresh, your roots. Okay, it says initiation, creativity, and vitality. Okay, so she's viewing her as someone, I already said this, someone who's starting from the ground up, starting fresh, starting over, rebranding herself. Okay, and this card literally says initiation. So this is like definitely a passing of the torch type of thing. I wouldn't be surprised, you guys, if there was like an award show that happened where you see like some type of initiation ritual where Nicki is literally passing the torch to JT. Okay, or something to that effect is what I'm getting. But she's definitely seeing her as somebody who is really working hard, like getting it literally in the mud, in the dirt. There's a kid playing in the dirt here, okay? Trying to sprout a plant. She views her as someone who's got a lot of energy, got a lot of life, and again, a lot of passion here regarding the music, okay? She views her as someone who's very creative, okay? Again, it's like someone here who actually writes their own music, you know, is not talking about the same thing over and over again. There's some versatility here. It's diverse, the music. So she's acknowledging that, yeah, JT can really be up next for real. Again, not taking her place, but she's up next, you know. A card here that says strategy. I just said that. That was a very, very, very common theme in the reading I did between JT and Cardi B's. Very strategic. She's viewing her as somebody who is making chess moves and not checkerboard moves, okay? Everything JT does is very precise. It's very particular. There's a plan, you know, 3-6 months in advance with the way she's thinking. So that's awesome. But let's get right into this, guys. I'm going to hop into the tarot and see what's going on with JT's end, okay? How is JT feeling toward Nicki at this time? Thank you. How is she doing, Nicki? Thank you. How is she feeling toward Nicki at this time, Spirit? Oops. Thank you. Let's see. How is she viewing or feeling toward Nicki at this time? The Lovers. Okay. Get one more, please. Okay. I have the Lovers here. Yeah, and then I have the Hangman. So the relationship can kind of be at like a stagnant pause, a standstill right now, possibly. Okay. The Lovers card, just Gemini energy. This is about making a choice or having a decision to make. This is also a very divine connection between two people. Okay, whether that be a romantic relationship or a business partnership. It's something that is meant to happen, that the universe brought together, that has much bigger picture at the end of the day with these two people coming together. Okay, it's also, like I said, a very heavy, major decision card. Okay. Oh, wow. Then you have the King of Cups and the Five of Cups. Okay, and again, I'm pulling cards. This is how she is viewing or seeing Nicki Minaj at this time. Okay, King of Cups, I feel like any king or any queen of a deck is a leader. She could be viewing her as somebody who, I already said this, someone who is very, like, like they need to heal or something here. Should you be viewing her as somebody who's very down and out, or a little sad, maybe even like a little depressed maybe about certain things, very emotional, okay? I feel like maybe JT and Nicki have like shared some very intimate conversations with one another. Obviously that's not known to the public, right? But whether that be when they talk in person, on the phone, or whatever. Okay, so she's viewing her as somebody that really loves her for real. Like they have a kind of genuine relationship or a connection here, but with this Five of Cups, I feel like she's viewing her as somebody who needs to heal, who's got a lot of wounds, who's very hurt on the inside. Okay, whether that be spiritually or just emotionally. Okay. Again, I feel like she's viewing Nicki as somebody who would like to work with her, like to work together. And the King of Cups, though, the thing about this, it's like someone who feels very deeply. This is Scorpio energy, but they don't necessarily show it. They don't wear it on their sleeve. So she can be viewing Nicki as somebody who, you know, has a lot of great depth of feelings and emotions, but she just doesn't show them a lot. Like, you know, Nicki will acknowledge you, like, hey, she'll give her flowers, but she may not give you your flowers again for a very long time after that. Or she won't be very expressive about how she's feeling. You know, this is like somebody who really likes you a lot, but they're not going to tell you how much they like you. Okay? Or they're not going to tell you how well you're doing, even though they see you doing very well. Okay? And this Five of Cups, this is like looking at the glass half empty versus half full. Okay? Crying over spilled milk. Someone who, again, is very hurt, very sad, maybe even depressed, even at an emotional loss here. That's interesting. Why is this here? Maybe she's viewing Nicki as somebody who, again, is just like very, you know, not necessarily sad or depressed all the time, but just somebody who, again, needs to work on themselves on a more emotional level or spiritual level here. Okay, and it's not to say obviously JT has it all together in a bag of chips, right? Nobody is in a perfect place, but again, I feel like Nicki may have just expressed some certain things to her. That's why she is viewing her as somebody who could be in this Five of Cups. Okay, either that or she's viewing her as somebody who's a little disappointed with the fact that people are starting to fall in love with JT. Okay, let's get a couple more. Let's see. Why is this here? Why is this here? Okay. Eight of Cups. Yeah, she's viewing Nicki as somebody who kind of wants to walk away. It's like if you don't, you know, say yes to Nicki or do what she wants you to do, like in a particular time frame or the way that, again, you told her 6 months ago, 6 months later, it's not exactly the way you said it. It's like she's gonna just leave you alone or think that you're a snake, and you know what I'm saying? I really hope that makes sense, guys. Like, it doesn't take much to hurt Nicki or you know, rub her the wrong way is the vibe that I'm getting. Oh wow. Okay, Five of Wands here. Fighting, arguing, bickering. She could be viewing her Nicki as someone who's very argumentative. Okay, then you have the Six of Cups and the Knight of Cups. The Six of Cups came out in a reading I did for JT and Cardi B as well. Okay, somebody who, at least in the depiction of this card, you've got the new girl coming in, you know, the new industry chick, JT, okay, the shorter girl. Then you've got the taller woman here, the older woman, passing the torch, passing the flowers. Okay, someone who may think they're a little bit bigger and better than you, right? Then you have the Knight of Cups here. That's an offer. There's a lot of cups here. She definitely is feels there's a definitely like emotional connection here between the two of them. Not like romantic wise, but you know, somebody who has confided in you or has shown another side of them that's not so, you know, aggressive and assertive all the time. They've definitely had some type of talk about spirituality or another depth of emotion here. But this Knight of Cups and the Six of Cups, she's viewing her as somebody who, you know, could have made an offer to her. Again, that's why I said I think Nicki may have wanted to collab with her, but JT didn't want to do that right now. She wasn't ready to yet, or she didn't want, you know, Nicki's star power to override or overshine JT's moment right now. And I totally get that. I totally understand, okay? This can also be related to something that happened in the past here, okay? This Five of Cups energy. As to why she's viewing Nicki in like this you know, emotionally desolate place or something, or someone who's a little disappointed with the way things have gone. It's like an offer that Nicki made to her in the past or something here that maybe she didn't accept, or, you know, didn't necessarily go through the right way, and it could have created a fight or an argument or something. This is like bickering back and forth. Again, another competition card. So yeah, she knows that Nicki views her as competition. I'm telling you, like, JT's got like she's either very intuitive or spiritual herself, or she's got someone on her team that is very spiritual that gives her insight on certain things here. Okay, but there was definitely like a choice here that was offered or made, okay, with some type of offer here with this Knight of Cups, okay? And I think something here happened where Nicki was very reliable and very stable and wanted to keep up her end of the bargain here, but JT might have like felt differently and went a different direction, and now there's arguing and fighting between the two of them. Or again, Nicki is viewing her as a snake or someone she can't trust. It doesn't actually mean that JT is a snake or untrustworthy. It's just, again, like, all you need is, you know, Nicki just needs one bad thing to happen, and then she just doesn't trust you anymore. Okay, but it's not because of JT specifically. It's just because of the trauma and the things that Nicki has seen and has been through throughout the industry for so long, men and women. Okay, that's why her guards are so high, or she's so defensive. Okay, I'm gonna hop on over to Nicki real quick, guys. Okay, then we'll hop back over to JT in a second. But Spirit, what is going on with Nicki? How is she viewing or feeling about JT at this time? How is she viewing JT at this time? Thank you. Wow, King of Swords. That's so funny, because this, you guys, when I did my reading about Cardi B and JT, the first card that came out for Cardi B regarding JT is this King of Swords. Okay, she's viewing her as somebody who is, you know, very serious about what she does. Okay, very serious. Like, she's not playing games. King or Queen of Swords, they don't have a lot of patience for bullshit. They're gonna say what they mean and mean what they say, and be very straight up and straightforward about it. Okay, they may not say it in the nicest way either. Okay, and I see a crown on her head. This King of Swords, same energy as I did the other night. Like, these women are viewing JT as the person who could wear the crown next. Okay, and King of Swords is somebody who is a truth teller, very honest. They're a wordsmith, very good with writing or poetry or speaking. And you have this Knight of Swords here. Okay, this is more of an aggressive energy, someone who is very urgent when they have something to say, a messenger, okay, someone rushing in. This is also something that may have occurred or happened very fast, very quickly, very rapidly. I don't think that Nicki was expecting JT to see so much commercial, I'm sorry, guys. I don't think Nicki was expecting JT to see so much love and admiration from the fans, especially the Barbs, right? Nicki's own fans. I don't think she was expecting that. So it kind of like hit her like a you know, like a train, or like a wall, like a brick wall. With this Knight of Swords, you know, something, her growth or her rise here is happening very fast. And Nicki is seeing that. She's seeing that this rise to the top or a very solidified position for JT is happening very quickly. Okay, she could also be viewing JT as somebody who, this Knight of Swords is someone who's very aggressive. They can get angry very fast. Someone who will curse you the fuck out. That's what I'm saying. Like, they think we could have had an argument or something at one point. And I'm not saying like this argument happened just because she dropped her project, City Cinderella. This could have happened in the past. Again, with this Six of Cups. But it's so strange because it could have been something that they healed from and got over, because she was just at her show on stage with her. So either that, they got over it and brought her out to the show, or this happened after Nicki brought her out to the show in Boston. Okay, again, with like Bia, Akbar, all that shit. Okay. Let me get one more. Let me see. Oh, the Sun. Oh wow, the Ten of Cups. Okay. Sun, 10 of Cups, she's viewing JT as someone who is very successful, who's going to be very prosperous, who's very happy. She's viewing her as somebody who's who's basically accomplishing all of her dreams. And it's funny because, again, I don't feel like Nicki is necessarily upset about it. I really genuinely think that she's proud of JT for doing what she's doing and starting over and again taking the advice from Nicki Minaj to do what she's doing right now. So I feel like she's happy for her, but at the same time, we are in a competitive sport, a competitive field. It's like, I fuck with you, but at the same time, it's like, this is still my spot. Does that make sense, guys? She's viewing her as somebody who, has got the world at her feet, basically, someone who is vibrant, very energetic, very fresh. With this Sun card, again, someone who has a lot of vitality, and again, someone who's got a lot of abundance coming their way, okay? Let me see, and it's happening very fast. Let me see. What is here? How's she viewing JT? Wow, and that's so funny, because I literally just said a little while ago that Nicki can be very defensive, or she's very guarded just in general. Okay, this Nine of Wands, she could be viewing JT as somebody who will persevere, overcoming all types of obstacles. I said that very, very early on in the reading. This Nine of Wands is a very perseverance fighter type of energy, someone who doesn't give up and throw in the white towel. Okay, this is also someone who may be a little nervous or apprehensive to approach a situation or to do something. Okay, and I have the Three of Wands and the Page of Wands. Okay, this together is the Four of Wands. Okay, 3 and 1 is 4. So a Four of Wands is foundation, stability, domesticated matters. That's also a reunion, reconciliation. Okay, so that's why I said I feel like they may have had like a tit for tat or a really bad argument, but they got over it and like healed something here. Okay, but with this Page of Wands and the Three of Wands, she is seeing, again, JT as somebody who is fresh, very excited to get her career started, somebody who is very eager to learn. Is also a messenger of good news. So she sees a lot of good energy and a lot of positivity coming from JT. And this Three of Wands here is looking toward the future, waiting for your ships to come in. She's viewing her as somebody who has a lot of opportunities coming in for her. Okay, and it's weird because I'm not getting the same energy that I was with JT and Cardi. Like Cardi B and JT, Cardi is more of out of an energy of like jealousy and envy and that should be me, I should be doing this, or I'm bigger and better than you. Whereas it kind of just seems like Nicki is sitting back and kind of like kicking her feet like, listen, I'm proud of you, I'm happy for you, go ahead and get your bag. You know what I'm saying? It's like we're still competition at the end of the day, but regardless of that, I'm still Nicki Minaj, you're JT, you're in your own lane, we don't make music that sounds the same. You got your fan, I got mine. And it seems just very like, go travel, go do what you need to do. You know what I'm saying? Go get those opportunities is the vibe that I'm getting. Okay, she could also be viewing JT as somebody with this Nine of Wands who may feel like a little inadequate next to Nicki. Okay, so say for example they get into a room together. I feel like Nicki can pick up on that energy very easily. Like, girl, you're nervous. Relax. You don't need to be so nervous around me. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, and I just feel like she's viewing her as somebody again who will really fight for her spot and really like do what she needs to do. Again, with this Nine of Wands, perseverance, you don't give up, you don't throw in the white towel. And I think she really respects that and appreciates that from her, from JT, okay? Whereas a lot of these girls now, it's like you need one or two hit songs, maybe go viral on TikTok, and all of a sudden, you see them on a stage in another country somewhere and they don't know how to do it or how to have stage presence, or they don't have good media training because they're literally these labels are just pulling these girls from anywhere because they had one or two viral songs and trying to make them the next big star. And I don't think Nicki likes that. She doesn't respect that. Again, it's a bit of a past tense, outdated way of thinking when it comes to Nicki Minaj. But at the same time, I get it. I understand because Nicki comes from a space where it's about your pen, it's about your craft. Can you spit? Can you write for real? Or are you just a one-hit wonder? And I think the way that you know, Nicki had to get in the game. She's seeing JT kind of do the same thing, you know, fight over, have a lot of obstacles that overcome, a lot of backlash and stuff, a lot of people assuming that you're the underdog. So Nicki sees a lot of herself in JT, absolutely. Okay, and with this Page of Wands here, it's like someone who's still a student, who's still willing to learn, or, you know, has a lot of positive, vibrant energy, someone who's very excited to get started. Okay, I'm gonna hop back over to JT real quick and get a couple of the closing cards. How is JT feeling in regards to Nicki at this time? And another thing I want to say is, I feel like with this King of Cups, it's like Nicki, she knows that she is, you know, the top of the totem pole when it comes to rap, not just women, but men as well, just in general. With this King of Cups, it's like, again, somebody who may not wear their heart on their sleeve so much. It's like, I fuck with you, I like you, but at the same time, I'm not going to overdo it. I'm not going to show you all the time. I'm not going to tell you all the time. You know, I think they have like a better understanding between one another than the general public is really up to speed with. Okay, but let me see. Let me get a couple cards for JT real quick. How is she viewing her feeling toward Nicki at this time? How is she viewing her feeling toward Nicki at this time? Oh, wow. Shit. Okay. Devil and the Three of Pentacles just tried to fly out. Wow. That's interesting. I don't like this. This combo came out for Cardi B as well. Like somebody that she's viewing Nicki as someone who wants to collab and work together, you know, get in her good graces here. But with this Devil card, she can be viewing her as somebody who could kind of, I said this already, like stop her shine or interfere with what JT is doing. It's like, you know, I would love to collaborate and work with you, obviously, but at the same time, I can't do it right now. It has to be later. It has to wait. You know, I can't have you outshine me when I'm still doing I'm in the middle of a rollout, about to go on a tour. You know what I'm saying? I also feel like she can view her as a gatekeeper, the same way she views Cardi B, somebody who could potentially block opportunities for her. Okay, so she definitely feels that way in regards to Nicki. She may view her as somebody, as again with this self-indulgence card and the Devil, someone who's very like self-centered, maybe even like a little narcissistic here. Okay, maybe like a little toxic. But it's not that she doesn't love her or admire her or anything like that. It's just, again, it's just right person, wrong time. And again, this is my industry card as well. So she's definitely viewing her as somebody who could potentially get in the way or block opportunities for her. And Nine of Swords at the bottom, it could be causing her a little bit of stress or anxiety here. I just said that, like Nicki, when they get in a room, Nicki could tell her, like, listen, you relax. Like, you don't have to be so nervous or be so anxious around me. Like, I'm a human, you're a human, but, you know, JT may kind of come off like a little nervous or anxiety ridden or something when it comes to Nicki. But at the same time, okay, she's viewing Nicki as somebody, again, who could possibly block opportunities for her. And I think this rise to stardom or her getting to a higher frequency in her career, it could be causing JT a little bit of stress because she's worried that these other head honchos in the industry will try to like sabotage things for her, is the vibe that I'm getting. Okay, let me get one more, please. How is she viewing Nicki at this time with this Devil energy and Three of Pentacles? Seven of Wands. Wow, yeah, blocking energy. This came out for the JT and Cardi reading I did. So she's kind of viewing these women in almost like the same energy. Okay, someone who could block opportunities for her. She's viewing Nicki as somebody who could have possibly even blocked her out. Okay, maybe blocked communication. She's viewing her as somebody who will really stand her ground. And again, very defensive. That's very interesting, guys. I need one more. Let me get one more, please. Why is this Seven of Wands here in the Devil? Why is this here? She's viewing Nicki. Six of Swords? Wow. Yeah, she could be viewing her as somebody who's trying to create distance here. Or walk away from her. Or, you know, not give her so much light and attention the way she was. So it's like, you know, the respect and admiration for her, for each other, between one another is still there, but it's almost as if like she's viewing Nicki as somebody who is very defensive against her now at this time and is creating distance, may have, tried to like leave her in the past or walk away. And it's not to say that JT was chasing her. It's not that, I'm not getting that at all. But it's like, damn, we were supposed to work together, or we could be working together, but instead, again, she's viewing Nicki as somebody who is kind of blocking that or being defensive about it or walking away from it. Okay, it's weird because it's like Nicki wants to collab with her, but it's like it has to be on her terms, on her time, on her watch, when she's ready. It's not gonna happen when JT is ready. Does that make sense, guys? And I just think JT is very concerned or very worried about someone like a Nicki Minaj blocking opportunities for her, blocking projects together. And it's crazy because they would probably make a lot of, do really well and make some money together, and it would probably benefit them more than not, or than beefing, or you know what I'm saying? So it's not like it's beef they have with each other. It's just, listen, this is work, this is business, this is a competition, this is not all buddy sister love, none of that. Like, so like they don't dislike each other, but at the same time, it's like the relationship is not what it used to be. I feel like that's interesting. I'm gonna go back to Nicki real quick. How is she feeling about JT at this time? How is she viewing JT? Thank you. Wow. How's she doing, JT? Oh, look at this. The tower at the bottom. It's chaos. Tower is like things kind of happening last minute. The rug being pulled from under your feet. This is also universe intervening. Okay. But I have the Two of Pentacles here that fell out. And then the Ten of Pentacles. Yeah. She's definitely viewing her as somebody who can really get to the bag and has the potential to be like the next big thing, okay? And then there's Two of Pentacles here as someone who is very indecisive, very in and out, back and forth. So she could have even like been viewing JT as someone who was like family or something with this Ten of Pentacles. Someone that she, again, probably really trusted at one point, but again, something was funny. Like I'm hearing funny with the money, or JT was a little fickle, okay? It's like she said one thing, but then ended up doing another. And Nicki doesn't like that. She does not like that. It's like you can't tell Nicki your shirt's going to be purple and then show up in a red shirt, because then immediately she's going to view you as somebody who is dishonest. You're in and out. You don't fuck with me like that. Does that make sense, guys? And it's not to say she wants JT kissing her ass. It's not that. It's more of like if you say one thing, you have to stick to that, and it cannot change. And it cannot change. Like, and if it does, then I'm looking at you sideways, kind of. Okay, so she's viewing JT as somebody who also is very booked and busy, doing her thing. Two of Pentacles is somebody who could, have a lot on their plate, a lot to balance out. And with this Ten of Pentacles here, it's like, yeah, she knows that JT has a lot of opportunities coming in for her financially. I feel like Nicki could even be in talks with people behind the scenes with this King of Swords coming out here as well. Okay, like the executives, the people that run these labels, trying to kind of, see what's going on with her. She may even be like a little confused as to what's going on with JT. Okay, one, because I don't think they're really talking right now like that, and two, it's like JT doesn't allow all of her business out there. She's not telling every Tom, Dick, and Harry what her next move is going to be. Okay? But at the end of the day, I just feel like, there is a mutual, genuine love and respect for one another here. It's just, at the end of the day, business is business. You're my competition, and I'm going to treat you like that. You know what I'm saying? Let me get two more for her, please. Get two more. Seven of Cups. I just said that. Like, she'd be viewing her as somebody's a little confused, or Nicki may be a little confused about what the hell JT is doing, or because, again, she's not necessarily, like, telling her everything, or people on JT's team are not spilling the beans. So JT's got a very solid team behind her. I'll say that. Seven of Cups. This is, like, fantasizing, daydreaming. This is also, like, kind of inebriation. Someone who maybe, like, drinks a lot or smokes a lot or something. Having a lot of options as well. She's viewing her as somebody who's got a lot of financial options here, a lot of different things she can choose from to do. And at the same breath, I feel like Nicki has kind of like aided and helped her not get opportunities, but how to navigate in this space as far as the industry goes, you know, and how to not get wrapped up in the bullshit, you know, in the glitz and the glamour and the Hollywood, you know, don't get wrapped up in things that could knock you off of your route to the 10 of Pentacles here. So she's taken a lot, I feel like, from Nicki as far as like advice and knowledge here. Okay, but she can also be viewing JT again as someone who has got a lot of options coming in, a lot of different things to choose from that can add to her financial wealth here. Okay, let's see. Why is this here? Two of Cups. Wow. Yeah, so it's like, you know, she still has a very like good relationship with her, you guys. I feel like with this Two of Cups, this is also like a business relationship, a soulmate connection, someone that you work very well with, you mesh very well with, very balanced. So it's like, you know, they're cool is what I'm getting, but at the same time, it's like I just don't think she tries to overextend herself, especially to somebody that is at the end of the day your competition. And Nicki knows that this is somebody who is a genuine piece of competition, not just somebody who's gonna be here for 5 minutes and be gone. So she sees something in JT, like a spark in JT that JT may not even see in herself in a way, or maybe that she didn't see in herself at one point. You know, with this Two of Cups here, that's like balance and harmony. So I feel like, you know, they may have like a lot of disagreements, okay, with this Five of Wands. They may have, you know, I'm getting like sister arguments, you know what I mean? It's like you love your sister, you love your brother, but you fight sometimes, you argue sometimes. You may not talk for a couple of days, but you always come back together in harmony and balance, and there's a mutual love and respect there. Okay, so I don't really feel like this is their friendship or relationship is necessarily like in shambles or in the worst position, but it's just a mutual common respect here that they are both very talented. They're both very good at what they do. You know, one has a very extreme silent fan base, and then the other, JT, she's building her fan base. And again, they've shared a lot of things with each other. I feel like they've had a very deep connection here outside of the music. Again, I feel like they've had conversations that are a lot deeper in an emotional level and spiritual level here. You know, it's like when they get along great. When they don't get along, it's in an extreme. You know what I'm saying? But again, it's like a sibling rivalry that I get. You know, we love each other to death, but we will fight. We will argue. We may have disagreements or whatever. Okay, but it's nothing like to the extreme. Like if you guys go back and watch the JT Cardi B reading, you will just tell the energy is completely different. Even though a lot of the cards are the same, the energy is completely different here. And I appreciate the fact that Nicki can acknowledge, at least in this reading, okay, that she can acknowledge the fact that JT is doing her big one, that she's got a lot of opportunities coming in for her. She's viewing her as somebody who can really be the next big thing here. Okay, and in the same breath, JT is aware that she can be the next big thing. And it's not like in a disrespectful, hateful way. You know, listen, Nicki, you've been around for a while. It's time for you to go. It's not in a disrespectful way. It's more of like, you know, I'm the new school. You know, Nicki may have like 1 or 2 more projects left in her for real, if we're going to be honest. Not saying that I only want her to do 1 or 2 more, but she's got 1 more album to do for her label. So, you know, who's to say that she wants to keep doing this for the next 10, 15 years? You know what I mean? So they have an understanding amongst one another that, yeah, like you can be the next big thing, but you just need to do X, Y, and Z to get there. You know, so it seems very mutual, very respectable between the two of them. It's just, you know, the business. It's just industry stuff. And it's like, we're not always going to be on the same accord. We can't always work together when you want to do it, Nicki. Okay, we have to like collaborate and be on good terms and be in harmony if we are going to work together. And Nicki just has to learn how to do that. Like, listen, not everything's going to happen on your time or when you say because you're Nicki Minaj, you know? That's just not how life works. All right. But I'm going to leave this reading here. This really wasn't that bad, honestly. It was a lot lighter than I expected it to be. So this was very interesting. If you guys liked this reading, this makes sense to you, definitely leave a like on the video. Leave a comment. Let me know what you know. Subscribe. I'd love to have y'all part of the family. Thank you guys so much. I love you guys so much, and I'll catch y'all on the next one. Peace.